Hi everyone, welcome to the 12 days of Halloween. I'm Dorene Decibus and I'm from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and I'm back on for my second time today. I was on a little while ago and I created this beautiful card during Fun Fold Friday, and let me just get it all set up. So I created this beautiful card during Fun Fold Friday today, and it is a 2468 fold that uses the Old Holy Night suite. So if you missed it, you can definitely watch the replay sorry about my fingers, just making sure the camera is hitting where I want it to hit. So if you didn't see it, make sure you watch the replay either on this channel on Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Same name, It Begins with Ink and Paper. So I just wanted to show you the paper I'm using tonight for the card that I'm going to be making. So, hi Barbara, thanks for joining me. I don't know if you just saw a moment ago the beautiful 2468 card that I made during Fun Fold Friday tonight. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love this suite so much. So you'll have to check that out. I'm going to be checking out your video later tonight too. So I am using the Them Bones 12 by 12 designer series paper, and I wanted to point out this very first piece that's in the package because it has a lot of different designs. You just need to cut along these lines here, the horizontal lines, and then you'll cut on the vertical to get each piece out. And so that's where I'm getting this piece of Trick or Treat paper that I'm using in tonight's card. Tonight's card is so simple to steal the show and do all of the work for us. I'm also using this piece of black and white houndstooth paper, and I'm going to show you a little trick I did with this. So let me put this paper aside and we'll get started on making our card. So I'm going to be using Them Bones for our stamps, but you're going to see on the front there's not many stamps involved. We're going to be using those on the inside of our card. So let's get started. Again, I will tell you the measurements of the cardstock, but I want to remind you that I am going to be sharing those measurements in the comments at the end of the video after I've posted the video. So I'm going to be using the Bag of Bones stamp set, and I'm going to be using one of the sentiments and one of the little bats. So let me just set that aside. So for cardstock for tonight's card, you are going to need a 4 1/4 by 11 sheet of basic black cardstock. I scored it at 5 1/2. And I'm just going to use my bone folder to give it a nice crease. There we go. I have cut a piece of basic white cardstock that measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. A piece of designer series paper. I picked the pale pumpkin pie with the beautiful bats. There's some Cajun craze, little moons in there too, but same size. 4 inches by 5 1/4. I took the houndstooth paper and I cut it into, let's see, the length is 4 1/4 inches, and the width of this piece is 1 inch. This is a 1/2 inch. I'm going to show you how I use this and how I am saving cardstock so that, designer series paper, so that I can make 2 of these cards with one of those pieces. I took my Trick or Treat piece of paper that I just showed you in the designer series paper, and I used the Deckle Circle dies to cut out the Trick or Treat, and then I cut these one size up of the Deckle Circle in basic black cardstock. And then I have 2 pieces of basic black cardstock, 2 strips. They both measure 1 inch. One of them measures 1 inch by 4 1/2, and the other one is 1 inch by 4. Okay, let's get started. We're going to do our stamping first because there's just so little stamping to do. So I've got my 2 stamps mounted on my blocks. I'm going to use my black Memento ink pad, and I'm just going to stamp up the Eat, Shriek, and Be Scary. What a perfect Halloween stamp. And I'm going to stamp that right in the middle of my basic white cardstock. And then just to coordinate with the front of the front designer series paper, I am going to stamp a couple of bats flying around that greeting. And that, my friends, is all of the stamping we are going to do for this card. So it is going to go fast, like I said. So this is going to go on the inside of my card. So I'm just going to add, oh, there we go, add some Stampin' Seal. And we'll just adhere this into the center of our card. Gives you some room to write someone's name and sign it. I'm going to take our piece of designer series paper. Again, add some Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to put this right on the front of the card. This is such an easy card to make. You're going to just love the simplicity of this. So if you needed to make several, you could. And then I'm going to take this. Now, I want to actually cut this so it looks like a banner. But so I could have taken the whole piece that was in the designer series paper and I could have cut it in a banner, but that would have wasted so much paper because I'm going to also be putting these pieces in. So what I did was cut this by 1.5 and by 1, and then what I'm going to do is just cut my pieces to make it look like a banner. So it's going to look like I cut this in a banner shape, but I'm going to spread it apart. So, and fill that in with the black paper. So I'm going to take, again, some more, and I'm going to start with this piece over closer to the edge. And then I'm going to put this piece, I'm going to separate it. This is a little wider, so I'm going to put 2 strips. So I'm going to separate that and have it coming over here. It's going to be a little off center. That's how I want it. That's fine. And now I'm going to do the same thing with my black cardstock. So I'm going to have the shorter piece and the longer piece. I'm going to flag these the same. And I just want to put this on so it's going to come across like this. There we go. So now I can add my Stampin' Seal on this as well. And when I put this down, what's going to happen, let me get those little pieces off. This is going to fill in that space, and it's going to make it look like I cut the whole piece, but you are going to know the truth that I haven't, and I am saving the other section of that to make it into another card. So it looks like I've got this big fat banner here, but I really don't, and that's what is so great about this. So I'm going to now add some adhesive to put the trick or treat on the front of this deckled circle. And I am going to add some of our black dimensionals to the back of the circle. It's nice having the black circle, the black dimensionals, so that when you are creating a dark card, you have darker dimensionals that you can use. So I'm just going to peel those off. Can you see how they blend right in with the black background? So if you're just joining me, we're making this cute Halloween card. Please make sure you say hello in the comments. so I know you joined me tonight. So there's the front. So now I just need our black twine, and I'm just going to make a quick double bow. Anytime you're making a bow, I don't have any super tips to give you, except for, you're just going to fool with it until it looks like you want it to look. And that's the best tip I can give you on making a bow. So I'm just going to tighten this. That looks good. And now I'm just going to trim it. I tried to make all of my bows on the spool of ribbon itself, so I don't waste as much ribbon. I just wasted this little piece here, and that's okay. So that's why I do it that way. So let me just add a glue dot, and then I'll just take a pick and place it where I want it to go. So there we go there. And finally, I just have my classic matte dots that I'm going to add some black dots to the front of this. And this is how quick this card goes. This is great this is a great card to make if you have several to make. You certainly could buy a package of the cardstock with a friend so that you both get two, and then you could get more of the trick-or-treats, or you could put another pattern of the designer series paper on here and then stamp an image on top of it. So you could do either thing. But that is our 12 Days of Holiday project for tonight, this great trick-or-treat card. And when you open, you've got your Eat, Shriek, and Be Scary stamp on the inside. So my first card tonight was very intense and complicated, but my second card of the night was super fast and easy. So thank you so much for joining me for the 12 Days of Halloween. Today is day 2. We have 10 more days to go after this tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I'll be back Sunday and then back at 8 o'clock again with another project for our 12 Days of Halloween. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.